My name is Jill Bain. I was born and raised in Saginaw. I found out that Steve was doing the investigation of the Court Theater through actually a sponsored ad on Facebook. And I immediately was interested because my dad worked here as a projectionist for years. After seeing the one episode where Steve sees the tall, slender man, that is definitely my dad. And I truly believe my dad is here. His whole life was being a projectionist. He loved movies and all things entertainment. His nickname was actually the Entertainer. It was a CB handle.
Did you play the video for anyone else, and what was their response?
Yeah, I showed it to my husband and my daughter, and they both agreed that it did sound like my dad. Something else, and I didn't tell you this in any of our conversations, was the episode where the spirit box got knocked over and then you hear gotcha. I kind of think, because my dad was a little jokester too, and that seems like something he could do. But my dad's whole life was being a projectionist. He got a toy projector as a kid and just knew from, I think he was like 8 when he got it. From then on, he knew what he wanted to do. He actually went through a little bit of a depression when they went automated and he lost his job. I think, other than what I've seen in the previous episodes, that it's him. I think he would be here because this was his happy place. He loved it here. This was his home. He worked Christmas, New Year's, Thanksgiving. He was here showing movies. I know he started at the Daniels Den Theater. That's actually where my parents met. I don't know when he came to work here, but he worked here up until they went automated. I want to say late 80s, early 90s. One thing I brought was like a instruction guide on how to make the screen brighter and things like that, and it was his. One thing my mom was known for was, if it's yours, your name's getting written in it, and if you couldn't do it, she would do it, and it's actually in my mom's handwriting, his name. When he would bring me here to watch movies, he always let me pick out something from the concession stand, and I always picked out a certain kind of candy, so I went and bought a box of that. I brought a couple of pictures, which I've actually sent to you. It was actually a pin from the job he took after he lost this one. I brought this.
Okay, now what is that exactly?
It's some type of manual on carbon arc and how to make brighter screens. I have no idea what any of this means. And this is from, apparently the date on it's 1957. Let's see here.
Okay, and so that's actually his.
Yes, his name is right there. Actually, because my parents met at a theater, I brought their picture from their wedding night.
Wow. And so they actually met at a theater.
Yes.
Wow. So his whole life was really centered around the cinema.
It really was. It really was.
That's incredible.
This was the candy I always got. I'm hoping these will, like, the candy will trigger the fact that when I came here, this is what I got, and it got to the point where he didn't even ask, he just would go grab them because he knew this is what I was getting. So this would be like a memory thing, I guess. And this is because this is what he loved.
If you truly believe that your father's spirit is still here, you being here, you attempting to communicate, you bringing these items, do you have any doubt that he would communicate back with you?
If he's here, I truly believe he will. And I think maybe he was pretty shy when it came to people, and I think that's why he liked being in the projection room by himself. He would stand back to watch people's reaction, and maybe with his daughter coming in and talking, he might be more apt to come through. It's been a really long time since I've been in the theater. Even longer since I've been up in this area. I used to, because I lived pretty close, I used to bring my dad dinner, and he, I would sit with him while he ate it and then take the dishes home. And I got to watch him like switch the big reels from one to the other, and it was always interesting to watch him do it, how he had it timed so perfect. We used to come here with him every Wednesday and watch movies and just spend time with him while he was at work, and that was always pretty cool to be able to do that and be part of something that was so important to him, be in the place that he loved being really more than anywhere else. He would always be excited for certain movies to come to the theater, because they always did like kind of the last showing after they were in all the big theaters. It would come here, and the last showing after they were in all the big theaters, it would come here, and
Hey, Jill.
yeah.
Could you maybe let the camera know, what you're doing right now, that myself and the team are getting all the gear set up to go into his projection booth, and just kind of give us your thoughts now. Now you're here, it's really going down, you're about to do this, what's going through your mind, you just kind of give us that
Okay.
information.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
They're setting up the equipment in the projection room, so I can go in there and hopefully get my dad to respond to the objects I brought me. I'm pretty excited, nervous. I'm really hoping that I can get him to talk. He's very shy around other people, so hopefully with me being here, it will get him to definitely respond and maybe be active.
All right, Jill. Well, here we are. So, what's your thoughts being in here? I'm sure it's been quite a long time since you've been in the projection room.
It's been a very long time. It's actually really kind of emotional, because I did spend all my, like, when I would come to visit my dad, this is where we were.
So when you came here to visit, I mean, kind of paint a picture for us, I guess. What what was it like, and what age were you, that type of thing?
I think probably the first time I was up here in the projection room, I was probably about 10. And my mom had brought me by to bring my dad something. I don't remember what it was. And I came up here, and I just remember seeing all the equipment and just thought it was huge. And just watching him work the machines, like, it was nothing. Like, it was like breathing for him. The way it was so natural.
Now, when you say it's somewhat emotional, what types of things are you feeling?
Just like looking at that stuff on the table right there, knowing my dad used that equipment at some point, and just thinking back to when he did use it, and like he touched it. He used that. That was, for all intents and purposes, his when he was here.
Getting a hit on the millimeter. All right, yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, just being in here, and like I sat here and had numerous conversations with my dad while he was working. Like I said, watching him use the equipment, it brings back a lot of memories.
So he would spend, I guess, hours up here. I mean, was his life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he worked, when he worked here, they showed like a 7 and a 9. And on Sunday he worked 7 days a week, but he would only stay for one showing on Sunday. Or he would come in for the later, and he would come hang out with us.
I got something. I got a figure right here. Isn't it now? Like straight ahead. You able to see this? Hello? Look at that. It's touching the projector, literally, right now. Jill, would you like to try to reach out and communicate?
Dad, are you here?
It's gone. Yeah, maybe keep trying, Jill, if you'd like. Say whatever you're comfortable with saying, and we'll monitor.
If I bring out this book, Dad, can you kind of maybe explain some of this stuff to me? Do you remember this book? I bet you had it memorized. Do you remember any of the stuff in here? Can I set this somewhere?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe where?
Anywhere you'd like to. As soon as I put that there, big spike, 0.8. Okay. All right, Jill, go ahead and keep communicating.
God, I saw a shadow over there.
You saw a shadow?
I think so.
Where did you see the shadow at, Joe?
Just like between the two one that, like right on the other side of the window right there. Is that you, Dad? If I knew how to make it, I would have brought pizza. My grandma had this recipe for homemade pizza that my dad loved it. And even after my parents divorced, if my mom made it, she would always have me bring my dad some while he was working and he would eat it. I never liked it. I thought it was disgusting. But he would, yeah, he loved it. So if she made it, she would always save him like a half of a sheet of pizza. But I don't know how to make it, so.
Is there any things that you would like to say?
Well, I'd ask him if he knows that I have grandkids, but he already knows. My granddaughter talks about him.
Okay, you can keep continuing, Joe. I feel that the more you reach out, the more activity we're having here.
My granddaughter's 5, just turned 5, and she does talk about my dad. And my dad passed in 2007, so she never met him. And my dad passed in 2007, so she never met him. She says that he calls her princess, and that definitely sounds like something he would say. And my dad also had a very unique nickname for me. I've actually had not thought about it in years. And my granddaughter said, "Papa calls me Gubba Gubba." And that's what he used to call me when I was little. So I know he knows I have grandkids. So asking him that seems like a waste because he knows. And actually, 1 week from today, I don't know if you know this, Dad, but me and Roy are celebrating our 25th anniversary. I know the biggest thing, I mean, I miss him like crazy, but my oldest daughter, because that was his baby, she misses him. She misses your dad a lot. She actually had someone design a tattoo. She hasn't got it yet, but she wants it. Even though I know those weren't your thing. I know after his funeral, my son didn't go to it, but he knew what my dad was buried in because he said my dad told him.
see something, Jill?
I thought I seen a light.
Huge hit on the millimeter. Who's here with us? We know that somebody is here. We've captured you on this device, our REM pod, our millimeter. Jill, you saw a shadow? So we know somebody is present with us at this time. Could you try to vocalize your name? What was that? Did you hear that? Came from this corner. That's where I saw the anomaly on the SLS. Are you pleased that Jill has come here tonight to talk and communicate? Can you give us a definitive sign right now that you can understand us? Perhaps you can set off one of our pieces of gear. You can move an object. You could speak. Are you happy to see Jill? Could you let us know that? We'd love to have your name. We're pretty sure that we know who we're communicating with, but that would be very helpful. We do have different devices all throughout the room here. If you could approach anything you see that's got a light, it'll alert us of your presence. Sound like a kid too? Are you over by that table? Please don't be shy. REM pod. Okay, thank you. Jill, would you like to display some of those objects? This might be a good time.
Any particular spot?
Anywhere you feel comfortable. You know, perhaps over on this table. And if you could, you know, address what you have there and
Here's your wedding picture. Do you remember this? It's probably from the job that you hated. He had a job in security after the theater went automated. This wore this on his uniform.
Are you here with us now? Are you standing over here by that device? You're welcome to touch that as many times as you'd like to. But Jill has brought some really beautiful, powerful things here. If you would like to approach this, in fact, I'm going to move this device now. That's me setting it off. Feel free to approach the table. So Jill, that photo of their wedding day, they actually met at a theater, huh?
Yes.
That's just beautiful. I mean, this whole life really seemed to center around, millimeter, we got a hit, seemed to center around the theater, period. I mean, was his life.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Everything, his movies.
Got a hit right here on the K2. I definitely feel there's something here. I just heard a voice. Did you guys hear a voice? Got a hit right here on the K2. I definitely feel there's something here. I just heard a voice. Did you just try to speak to us? Could you please do that one more time? That's amazing. K2's going off as well. Keep getting hits on the K2. All right, Jill, this would be a great time to reach out and say whatever it is that you would like to say. I can definitely help you with the communicating, but I want to make sure that you're able to speak what you need to.
Feels really cool to be back in this room, Dad. Seeing all the stuff that you used.
And you said he had a nickname, the Entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. The Entertainer. Wow. Look at this, guys. That's amazing. I literally have chills going through my body right now. Chills, my whole right side.